Hey Michelle, we're back with part two, jumping right back into the case study. So, the product that this case study is on is a product called Project Analytics. I had mentioned in the previous video that there was all this data in Revit, there were problems in the model, people couldn't analyze it, you couldn't do anything with the data to kind of figure out what was going on in the model. That's exactly the product that we were going to market with. These are a list of all the different products and services the company offered if you'd want to take a look at it, but we're going to focus on Project Analytics. So, typically in my business or my go-to-market strategies, I focus first on the business case. Do I need to defend it? Do I need to support it? Do I need to make it bulletproof with research? I focus on understanding the customer through and through. I then work on pricing strategy, positioning and messaging, product and customer subject matter expertise. This is basically ongoing learning, and sales and marketing strategy, training, and then the execute and optimize portion of go-to-market. So first we're going to focus on the business case. My question that I have to answer in the business case portion is this a good business move for us? Is this the right decision? I'm responsible for market sizing, understanding the immediate customer demand, understanding competition, and also understanding and helping to define some of the measurable business goals or measurable KPIs for this product that work towards the business goals. So what I did for Unify and for Project Analytics is they had already done market sizing, so I jumped right into assessing the immediate customer demand to try to size that a little bit. So we worked with customers in customer success to identify all the customers who have been asking about this. This product was 12 months late to market, and there were a lot of people asking for it, had they've been told about it in the past. Understanding the competition, we didn't really have a lot in the software category, but we had a lot of customers with really messy, very fragile in-house solutions that we were hoping they would replace with this software that had been in development for 18 months prior to me joining the team. I also needed to understand and define those business goals, and this is a matter of estimating new business and also estimating upsell opportunities within our current customer base. Moving forward into understanding the customer, the things we needed to get down and documented were the ideal customer profile, mapping the customer journey, and also identifying the personas. In order to define the ideal customer profile, it was more or less a big brainstorm, getting sales, customer success, everybody in the room to kind of talk about who the ideal customer is, taking a look at all the information about who was requesting these products, size of the accounts, and using all of that information to kind of map out who we had the best opportunity to sell this product to, who was our ideal customer. I reached out to customers for a Q&A to understand the impact of Project Analytics on their business, to be able to quantify the value that we were delivering so that we could actually make ROI calculators with that information as well. So it was getting feedback and also being able to quantify the value. We also launched a beta campaign, and everybody that we approached was part of the beta so that they had an opportunity to play with the product first and really trial it and implement it in order for us to get testimonials for PR purposes after. So we understood that it was engineers that we predominantly needed to go after with a little bit of architects, and then it was current enterprise customers that we were looking to target. Now for customer journey mapping, again, it was the brainstorming session where everybody who touched the customer in any respect got to contribute to the first draft of the journey map. I then went back to the beta partners to review and confirm to see if this is actually the type of flow that was familiar to them. And I also presented that back to the team. This is a typical example. You'll be able to see that in the deck itself close up. This is the exact output, but this is an example of what my output typically looked like. Creating the personas, again working with sales and product to brainstorm persona details for the various roles, and also focusing specifically on challenges and buying criteria. This was then shared with the team and also kept updated on a regular basis. And with pricing strategy, we needed to define a strategy. We needed to also define price points that would focus on either a standard price point and the introductory rates. We nailed down 2 months free for current customers, 6 months free for new customers when Unify Core was purchased, and also a tiered pricing model. Now, with the positioning and messaging, we had to develop positioning that was going to define the tech product and that was also going to differentiate with competitive positioning and also identify the customer and the desired solution outcome. We then had to draft messages for each persona in relation to the positioning and also draft high-level messaging that kind of spoke to the first touch-point personas combined, because we did have the advocate and the decision maker who were highly involved in being able to green light adopting our software, and we needed messaging on our homepage that was going to be be able to appeal to both. So for the product, we had to use the right words. In this case, it was diagnostic analytics and also model health and quality. There's no analysts in this space right now. There are also no associations that are standardizing terminology. So this was something that we really had to kind of delve into and work with a lot of international subject matter experts in being able to understand how we should be referring to these problems and the software. We had to differentiate. In this case, we didn't have a lot of competition in the market. We did have in-house competition, and the biggest thing was that it was cloud-based, easy to use, and also real-time. The model and the analytics were available in real time. We also identified the customer and the desired outcome. The customer was some architects, mostly engineers who used Revit, and that their desired outcome was that they wanted to make the design phase more efficient, fewer crashes, better, healthier, higher quality models. We came up with Project Analytics as a turnkey cloud-based model health and quality analytics solution that helps enterprise-level architectural and engineering firms design more efficiently. With Project Analytics, you can start monitoring models in real time in minutes. No complex integrations, no coding, just 3 clicks and you're ready to go. This is some messaging that you can take a look at. I don't want to read all of it. It'll just lengthen the video needlessly. But take a look at it and let me know what you think. So the next part is just an ongoing portion of the go-to-market strategy where it's a matter of making sure that I'm not just a customer subject matter expert, but also a product subject matter expert. So a lot of times the product is still being tweaked at this point, or the solution or service is still being tweaked, and that's where I'm very much delving in to understand how the solution is going to be rolling out to a customer. What's the process? What's the flow? What's the workflow? How does that all work? And being able to understand that information. With regards to sales and marketing strategy, I've done this 3 different ways in the past where I've actually defined and dictated the sales and marketing strategy. I've also defined a go-to-market strategy scope and then collaborated and assisted sales in developing both sales and marketing. And then I've also just defined a high-level project scope with KPIs and asked sales and marketing to develop a sales and marketing strategy, bring it on back to me, and then we can discuss what type of sales enablement material and marketing material we needed to execute on their plans. So here we define the KPIs, how we're going to track them, define all of the different assets and information needed to be able to execute sales and marketing strategies, and then set up a reporting cadence so that when we're tracking, we know how often we're tracking and communicating the success. For this specific campaign, we did a lot of stuff with regards to marketing and sales. I'll go over a lot of the different marketing things we did. So first we did the beta launch to get the feedback and testimonials for our PR. We then, for the collateral that I prepared, we did a website demo/promo videos, a very light, high-level version. We created social media posts. We did video creative for social media. We engaged a PR firm to work on releases and beta partner interviews. We're working on home page material for the website, product landing pages for public product information. We also did personal sales rep landing pages, which was instead of them sending a one-pager, they could send a link, so it was more trackable if somebody was actually reading the content that had been sent. I also created an ROI calculator and a time waste calculator. So I'll send that to you. There's a link in this email. Have a look at the time waste calculator. It's still live. We then produced all of the sales decks, and what does it say underneath this? There's something blocking on my screen. I don't know if you can see it. Creating the implementation, the how-to information to help the customer use the product. We also did events. We had a current customer sneak peek webinar prior to launch, so customers got to see what was going on if they hadn't already. So setting up the registration pages, email invites. We also did public launch webinars with all of the different brouhaha to promote those. We did 5 in total to accommodate different time zones. We also did industry webinar sponsorships where we were paid guest speakers. Content marketing, we hired a BIM specialist to write content, digital media, paid social, programmatic, everything, and then also engaged in some influencer campaigns with BIM celebrities. So the training was pretty straightforward. People were presenting the sales strategy, presenting collateral, all that different stuff, presenting all the different plans to the different teams. And then there was, at the end, the execution of everything. The sales outreach begins. We started tracking, we started measuring, and we started optimizing. So that's more or less the video. Look forward to hearing your feedback, and thank you very much.